Meanwhile, the Kenyan government has dismissed a claim that 166 students are still unaccounted for after the attack on Garissa University College. The university's academic staff union, an umbrella body of lecturers and academics, said on Tuesday that they feared the missing students had been kidnapped by al-Shabab. Media reports coming out of the country say the Ministry of Education said the union was spreading unfounded rumors. Our correspondent Sarah Kimani is on the line to give us the latest. Sarah, talk to us about reports of students that remain unaccounted for.
Well, what has happened is that there are still parents who are flocking the mortuary, saying that their children are not in the list of those who were transported to their homes. They're not into the mortuary recorded among the dead, or those who were rescued in the last hours of the end of that procedure, those who were later found to be inside the hostels. So they're saying then it means that they are unaccounted for, and it means that they're splitting. Yesterday, the Union of Lecturers here in Kenya saying that at least 166 students are not accounted for. It is not clear yet, but when you do the mathematics out of what the government says, the university had about 800 students, 142 died, and those who were rescued, they say, are about 252. It does not add up to the 813 that are said to have been in school. So people saying that indeed there are students who could be missing, not clear where they are.
Now, Sarah, what's the actual argument here? Is it that perhaps the suspected insurgents first kidnapped the students before police arrived?
Well, what people are saying is that probably the death toll could be higher than what the government is saying. So the university lecturers suggesting then that there should be a check in the other mortuaries to see if there are any victims of the Garissa attack who could have been moved there. Because the ones at the Chioma mortuary, only about 26 of them are not accounted for. Not so much because have not been identified, meaning if the forensic identification is done, they may get their relatives may be able to identify them. Kidnapping at this time is not one of the things that are being considered.
Now, the government has flexed its muscle and closed down a number of money transfer facilities it accuses of laundering terrorist funds. What's the reaction been to this?
The money transfer are owned by, most of them are owned by Somalis. They are called hawalas, and they're based on trust. Money is transferred from one area to another, basically based on trust. The people who register those money outlets here, money transfer outlets here, is the Central Bank of Kenya. The association, the umbrella association of these money transfer, money remittance agencies, saying that indeed all these people were registered by the Central Bank of Kenya and they had a clean bill of health. When you go to the areas where they're mostly used, which is in the neighborhoods of Eastleigh, where the biggest Somali communities, there's a lot of anger because they say they depend on remittances from their relatives abroad, whether in the UK, in the US, to send them money. And indeed, in places like Somalia, where the systems have worked for a very long time, the Somali government says at least 13 money transfer companies are also based in Somalia, saying quite a number of people will be affected. The government says they are not at this point saying that any of them is guilty, but they're saying that after investigations are open, those that are found to be working according to the law will be reopened. However, there's anger with people asking that they could actually have been investigated without having closing them. So they're saying the government is doing things in the wrong way, victimizing once again the Somali community instead of bringing them on board to fight the war against terror.
Sarah, just we'll have to leave it there. We don't have any more time left, but thank you for the update.
Thank you very much.
That was our correspondent Sarah Kimani on the latest from Kenya as the country mops up after a deadly terrorist attack that has left more than 150 people dead.